you're going to find out why the person has held on to the pain. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because the initial pain they needed to get them to the doctors and do something about it. But the pain they're getting now is saying, do something about it. And there's nothing they can
Mm-hmm.
do about it. And so chronic pain is a message to either start doing something or stop doing something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the action it thinks you can take. So when I talk about it, I'm talking about the unconscious, subconscious, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I would prefer to call it the epiconscious because I think it's far cleverer than our
Mm-hmm.
conscious mind. It's got far more ability. So I'm a big fan of what I was trained to call the unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about talking to somebody in a way that uh, makes their unconscious give you the answers. And I'll explain how we do that later.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't actually use trance. And this
Mm-hmm.
opens us up to far more people. Now, in my early days, because I'd studied marketing, when I started the business, I was telling people I'd trained in NLP and I trained in hypnosis. And people would then get locked into asking me about NLP. Well, what's that? Or hypnosis. And we'd talk about Elvis and clucking
Mm-hmm.
chickens and things like that. A session would be like an hour of just trying to get over the hurdle of, oh, what's this all about? Is it scary? Are you going in my head? All that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized quite quickly from a marketing standpoint, people don't need to know how you're going to work with them. They need to know the result. So I just
Mm-hmm.
focused on results and I was an anxiety expert. So that's what I wanted to focus on, or that's the work that came to me. And because I live quite remotely out in the countryside, I decided to do things in a breakthrough session. So when I say I help people in one session, I don't mean an hour. I mean I would invite them for the day. They would come at
Mm-hmm.
10 o'clock in the morning. And if I needed 2 or 3 hours with them and that helped them, that was fine. But if I needed eight, I would carry on working until literally I got a result.
Mm-hmm.
And I charged a fixed price so that people would know that they won't have to keep shelling out and keep coming for sessions. And it worked really well. When a client enters your consulting room, the first thing you should say is briefly tell me what the problem is. Fibromyalgia, ME, and chronic fatigue syndrome I see as the same illness. They get diagnosed differently because of the effect of the symptoms it gives them. It's always about people who overdo things physically, mentally, or both.
Mm-hmm.
It's people, usually wonderful people, mainly female, but there is men that get it as well. And it's about doing things for other people. So they have a workload of their own that they do, but then they're helpful and they help other people. And then they get to the point where they're so helpful and such a nice person that the people they've helped volunteer them to people they don't even know to say, "Oh, Mary will help you." And
Mm-hmm.
then they end up doing all these things and they're ill and they can't do it. And they're very bad at saying no. So they end up feeling pressurized into doing this thing to show how nice they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then they resent it. And then what happens is the body says, well, look, if you keep going at this pace, you're going to kill yourself. So I'll shut you down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it shuts them down in a way that only represents them. So
Mm-hmm.
this is why it's never had a pharmaceutical answer. Because if you make a tablet that works for Fred, it will only work for Fred. And then Mary comes along and says, but Fred's tablet doesn't work, and they have to make a tablet for Mary. And it carries on like that. Whereas if you understand that what they need to do is listen to their body and stop when they're doing too much. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
talk to them about assertion and things like that. And then I treat them slightly different to all my other pain clients.
Wasn't that absolutely fantastic? I'm sure that you found a lot of information in this very short video you just saw, maybe like 4 or 5, 6 minutes, however long it was. But that is not all. You can have access to the entire presentation of this amazing speaker, plus 40 more other presentations and speakers, and you can have access for life. You can have access to the video recording, to the audio recording, to the swipe files, to the transcripts, to all of the bonuses and the special gifts that all of the speakers and presenters and also the organizers are offering in the Premium Pass package. So if you like this, if you want more, make sure to sign up below for the Premium Pass and have lifetime access to everything. I'm sure it'll be one of the best investments you've ever made in your life, in yourself, in your practice, in your health, and also with working with clients. So go ahead, click on the button below, sign up for the Premium Pass, and we'll see you on the other side.